Hi, my name is Eric Willison. I'm an attorney licensed to practice in the state of Ohio. I'm going to be talking about the law of the state of Ohio as regards to evictions in the context of the coronavirus and the many court closures that are going on right now, and what it all means. I want to preface this by saying that by watching this video, that does not make you my client, doesn't make me your attorney. This is an informational video only, and basically going off of the things that I've seen since this coronavirus has started to affect the court's dockets. You may have heard a lot of crazy rumors like you no longer have to pay rent anymore, or landlords can't evict anybody, and things like that. None of that is true. What's happened is that to the extent that the governor has issued any proclamations or the state legislature has passed any laws, all that has happened is that these proclamations have said that the Ohio Supreme Court may take as long as it wants as far as the scheduling of evictions go. And the Ohio Supreme Court has basically said to the local courts all over Ohio, you may adopt whatever rules for the scheduling of evictions that you deem appropriate as per your needs, your schedule, your security, things like that. Because obviously what they don't want is to have some security person at the court who might be in his 60s or her 70s to fall ill because they were working when they shouldn't have been, and that sort of thing. So, given all of that, what's happening is every single court in Ohio is basically got its own how shall I say, way of dealing with the coronavirus. For instance, in Franklin County, you can, as a landlord, file an eviction if your tenant has not paid the rent. However, normally when you file an eviction, you'll have a hearing scheduled within 2 or 3 weeks of the filing of the eviction. But nowadays, with the coronavirus thing, all evictions are being scheduled 6 to 8 weeks out. So it's going to be a lot longer before you get your date. In other courts, they're saying you can file your eviction, but we're not going to give you a date as to when your hearing date will be, because we haven't gotten that far yet. We're still in a flux right now, and we're trying to figure that out. So you can file them all you want, but we'll tell you when your court date's going to be, and that might be sooner, it might be later, who knows. Other courts are saying, nope, we're not taking any evictions, we're closed. So there's different ways that different courts are handling this. If you are a tenant and you want to find out, or if you're a landlord and you want to find out what's going on with your court, what you want to do is call up your local municipal court that covers your area. And in Dayton, it can be very, very tricky to know which court covers your address, even though it may say that your court, or that your address is Dayton. So you would call the Dayton Municipal Court. That's not necessarily the one that covers it. So don't go by your address. You actually have to call up the Dayton Municipal Court, say, here's my address. Are you covering my area? They may say, no, that'll be Vandalia, or that'll be the Eastern Division of the Montgomery County Municipal Court. Half the time after they say that, you go over to that court, you call them up and they say, no, we're not covering that area either. That'll be something else. So it's a patchwork of eviction coverage out there, so you got to be very careful. But call the court that does evictions in your area and ask them, what's the policy right now with regard to evictions? And they'll tell you what they're doing, and that can give you some idea what you're expecting if you're going to file an eviction or if you are anticipating an eviction as a tenant.